matter.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about.
what I said. So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up and dragging on both sides, you cannot you cannot breathe.
That's what
And these
happens.
women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
ITV, certainly the best.
Broadcasting live on independent television. This is 60 Minutes Nigeria. I am Lawrence Osifo, standing in for your regular host, Egosa Agbolaho. It's a brand new day, a brand new year. So permit me to wish you a happy new year. The first day of the year 2026. A lot has played out in 2025, so much in the policies and the politics, the politicking and the politricking. But it seems like we've entered the heat of the election year, because this is pre-election year. You can call it penultimate year, the year to election. So we're going to see more of the politics, and we're going to see how the politics play. But we're always here to keep you abreast with what is going on. We're always here to keep you abreast with the ongoings, to educate, to inform, and to entertain you. But on the show today, we'll be looking at the U.S. bombing of ISWAP and ISIS camp, or they call it a terrorist camp in Sokoto, in Nigeria generally. But we'll be unearthing the truth out of what really transpired. How did all of this happen? Was it a collaborative effort, or the U.S. just entered into the Nigerian territory and just did what he wished to do? But I have my guest, the seasoned analyst, who is live with me in the studio, Owen Olowu, who is a lecturer and a public affairs analyst, live with me in the studio. Good afternoon and good to have you.
Good afternoon.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Same to you. Viewers at home, good afternoon. Happy New Year to you all. This new year, obviously, will hopefully be a year of peace and prosperity.
So we
Thank
pray.
you.
So
Yes,
we pray.
yes.
All right. Let's start off the conversation. On the 30th or 31st of October, we saw the statement, not a physical, a verbal statement rather, from the U.S. President Donald Trump. He tweeted on his Truth Social that there's a Christian genocide in Nigeria, that it has called for international attention, that he will be doing what he feels will be good to safeguard Nigeria and Christians in Nigeria. But there were so many conversations around it, that it's not only Christians that are being killed, even Muslims are also being killed and all of that. But last week, Thursday, that was on Christmas Day, we saw what transpired in Sokoto State, where the U.S. forces came into Nigeria and in Sokoto, and they unleashed what they did on the ISWAP terrorists and the ISIS terrorists. Let's get it brief first. Do you think the action of the United States was called for?
Well, the activities of terrorists, bandits, whatever
name they
you want to call them, Boko Haram, ISWAP, there are newer versions, newer fashions of them now. whatever their names are called, they have threatened not just Christians alone in Nigeria, they have threatened the statehood of Nigeria.
Okay.
And these things have been on for ages, and everybody seems to be playing kid gloves with it. But the fact that Christians have been the ones that are the main targets. And if you say, oh, it's not only Christians that are targeted, the question is, who is perpetrating this evil? Who is perpetrating this act? The people perpetrating this act, they are perpetrating it against the Christians more, and maybe a small fashion of the more fashion on their own Islamic people. So this thing has largely been perpetrated by the Islamic, where they call them dissident groups. They say we should not give it a religious coloration, that this group of people, these terrorists, ISWAP, as the case may be, they are extremists. They are not core Muslims. They are not core Islam, because they say Islam is a religion of peace, as the case may be. So they unleash the terror. The target is more on Christians. And on this stage, maybe not on 60 Minutes Nigeria, maybe on this morning on ITV, I have always asserted, I have always advocated that this terrorist group terrorizing Nigeria, they are not up to what the Nigerian army can actually deal with. Just that what we lacked before now is the willpower to disseminate these people, the willpower and the courage. And that we came here to talk about this subject when there was this call, when Donald Trump released his tweet that they were going to come to Nigeria, and many persons were afraid, thinking, oh, it was going to be an invasion. We were saying, we don't want an invasion, we want an intervention. And of course, a lot of talks have gone behind the door, behind closed doors, and the result of those talks is what we have seen. And nobody will tell me that we are not heaping a sigh of relief, as the case may be. To say that this intervention, to say that it is needed, is an understatement. It is long overdue. And the collaboration with the Nigerian government, or rather, the collaboration between the United States of America and Nigerian government to achieve this. Some people will say, oh, it appears, oh, it's possible that the Nigerian government were not even involved at all. It was only the United States of America. It was a unilateral decision and all that. I told some persons, I said, if this was to be the regime before now, where we saw several things like Ruga, trying to Islamize Nigeria. You were planning Ruga, cattle ranching in different states, other from the cattle business that is supposed to be a private business. You now see that the government wanted to do it as if it's a state business and all that. I was telling people that if this was the regime before now, these strikes wouldn't have been possible. But because I would say that the current government, they just needed this push. Because, there were so many things around it. Some persons were saying, oh, you should negotiate with these terrorists. You should, they call these terrorists, people who are killing people in the thousands, they call them their brothers and their sisters, and they are saying, oh, they should negotiate with them. So what we have just experienced now is just a tip of iceberg. What you just heard of, the Christmas Day bombing, is just a tip of iceberg compared to what has been happening on the ground since that December 24th till now. A lot has been happening on the ground. And you cannot tell me that you are not experiencing some fresh air.
To an extent.
Yes, to an extent. There seems to be some relative peace, relative calm, except the media is underreporting. Except because I've also come here to say that the media is an accomplice to what has been happening. The
the media.
I'm just saying that for apparent, because of regulations, regulatory body and all that. So the NDC and all that. So NBC rather. So the media may be underreporting something so that they don't paint Nigeria in bad light. To the world. Okay. So that Nigeria, that we had genocide in Nigeria before now, it's an understatement. The killings were becoming so much that even those of us who live in the metropolis, we are no longer feeling safe, to say the least. So because the day was getting closer, they were closing in on all of us. So that the United States of America, the pontoons of the United States of America, the President of the United States of America heard our cry and came to our rescue and intervened in the situation. They didn't even come into Nigeria. They didn't come. They from the Gulf of Guinea. They launched that Tucano bomb, and then that can even travel 1,000 kilometers away. The other day I saw the police went to the site of the bombardment and they were excavating body. You see dismembered bodies. I don't know if you saw that clip.
I did.
Dismember. You know, so that is what saved them. At least they have dismembered. I saw only heads. So they said they will go to heaven and they will give them 72 virgins. I wonder how they are going to be able to address those 72 virgins. So to say that the intervention is timely, because the Nigerian state, it was a threat to the Nigerian state. It was a threat to Islamize Nigeria. It was a threat to all of us. None of us were safe anymore because they were actually gaining ground. They were taking territories. In fact, in a whole state, I think in Zamfara state or one of the states in the north, they have practically the only region or the only area that was not left in the hands of the government was like the state capital. All the suburbs, all the local governments, even to the extent that the local government chairman has even gone into truce with these terrorists. They are paying them money. Once they get allocation, they give them their cut. So to say that this intervention, to be very honest with you, the intervention is very timely, and we want to, whatever the people have been speculating, they say, oh, there's an undertone. The USA, they have a what is it called? They have something they want to benefit. They are eyeing this one, they are eyeing this one. For me, I think that is bullshit. There's so much speculation. It's speculation. Like on the issue of, we cannot really give so much details about the military intervention so far, except the ones we are told. You know, when I saw the topic on hating the truth, we can only come here and talk about the things that has been reported. When you talk about military intervention, it's a confidential operation. Highly confidential. They cannot give you the details of what is happening, of what is going to happen, because
their security
yes, because I think during the time of Goodluck Jonathan actually approached a private security firm to help with the issues of then Boko Haram was just springing up at that time. And when the man later was doing a documentary after that Jonathan's time, there was a time the man was doing the shift that was the white man that was employed, that contracted to help stamp out Boko Haram. He said when they gather intelligence and then they say, okay, they want to launch out, they want to go to the enclaves of these military people and they want to go and gas them, you know, they want to go and gas them out. Then before you know that when they will get there the following day, they will see that the military people, the militants, the kidnappers, the bandits, the terrorists, they're already wearing nose masks, gas masks.
Wow.
Yes.
To protect
themselves. Meaning information has gotten to them that they're going to use gas to eliminate them. So in cases like this, a lot of secret is involved. And I can tell you for free that since that airstrike of Thursday, a lot has still been going on. In fact, yes, on the ground. And if you pay attention to news from the north, you see that even, I think there was one recently, Amateku intercepted some terrorists, some Boko Haram people that were fleeing from the north and all that. In fact, all the borders around us, those countries bordering us, they have intensified security along the border because these terrorists are fleeing. They are fleeing because they don't really have, because that's Sokoto. Not many of us even knew that anything was happening.
Exactly. That is because
not many of us knew. All our interest was that it is Borno, Zamfara, and Adamawa, Yobe, and all that. Yeah. And then recently, Taraba, Benue rather. Yeah. That was, whereas the headquarter is in Sokoto. Their intelligence headquarter, where they plan and then they unleash, they strike, has been in Sokoto all along. But due to military intelligence shared by the United States of America and Nigeria, we were able to bomb those enclaves, and we have had some sigh of relief, because from that Thursday till now, I've been paying attention to the news.
We've not heard anything.
We've not heard anything. Yeah. Even, to be very honest with you, Seth, it appears even the kidnapping reduced. The kidnapping in the south that we used to hear, terrorizing communities around. I said these people, it's a network.
That's true.
It's a network. Apparently, they have been able to trigger themselves, and they are on the run. All of them. Because when you see these people that are carrying out this act, they are they look so impoverished, I'm talking about the kidnappers now. And they demand large ransom.
Huge sum of money.
Use sum of money. You will be wondering. And so in most cases, even the government sometimes pay money to them. Though the government will come out and deny that they don't pay any money that they don't release them like that. Especially when they kidnap a large number of people from schools and all that. When they get this money, the people who are sponsoring them, they are just behind, feeding fat on these ones, the food soldiers. Those people doing the sponsoring, paying the money, those ones cannot come out. They can't come out because they don't have what it takes to come out and do what those guys are doing. I don't know if you also saw this one. I think one of the governors, one body, the governor of Niger State, Bago, he has been Niger State. He has been denied, he has been fingered as one of the financiers of those guys. Well,
he will always deny it.
What he said now, well, me, I don't know. He has been fingered. I think the onus is on the government to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt with a lot of facts. Because when you're talking about truth has to do with facts
and evidence.
Evidence, not just saying. And the man is alleging that, it is because he has refused to join the APC. That is why they are after him. Trying to
so some political undertone.
Exactly, that's what he's saying. So the onus is on the government because, like many of the Zamfara State governor and even the Borno State governor before now will tell you that they know where these terrorists are.
Even Gumi
leave that one. That one we meet is Waterloo. That one is like the Sheikh Gumi is not the Sheikh Gumi. The Sheikh Gumi, the Islamic cleric. That is more like I don't know what to call it, a mediator, an advocate for these people.
He said he meets with the guys. He talks to them.
Yes. So besides Sheikh Gumi, let's leave Sheikh Gumi out of it now. I'm talking about those in government.
Okay.
Before now, they have always told you that they know where these guys are. That they know where they are at any time. See, but the challenge is you now ask yourself, you know where these guys are, then what is stopping you from going after them? Now, yes, before now I've always tried to.
I think we'll have to go on a short break. Let's take a short break on the show. We'll continue the conversation shortly. Stay with us. All right, thank you very much for staying with us still on the program 60 Minute Nigeria, broadcasting live on independent television. We've been looking at the U.S. bombing of ISWAP and ISIS terrorists in Nigeria, unearthing the truth. And my first guest, Owen Olowu, who is a lecturer and a public affairs analyst, have laid a brief for us to start off the conversation. But I'm being joined again by someone who is also, knowledgeable in public affairs. He's also a lecturer, not just a lecturer, but a professor, so he understands better. Professor Anthony Ijewere. Good afternoon, Prof. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you.
Yes, Prof.
Apologize for
no issues, bro. No issues. But you're here, so let's delve into the conversation. He has laid a part for us, but let me get to hear your own perspective on the collaboration between the United States and the Nigerian government. They said it was a collaboration in the bombing that happened last week, Thursday. That was on Wednesday on a Christmas day. What would you have? What is your take out of this whole collaboration that happened?
Well, we are aware that over the years, especially from the period of the later General Buhari, there's been a lot of insecurity in the country, prepared by bandits, what do you call it, ISWAP and the rest of them, Boko Haram and so on and so forth. And it appears during his time there was no solution. No solution in the sense that we are aware that 2015, when there was this general presidential election, when Buhari said, I quote, that
if he did not win, he would make Nigeria ungovernable.
Yes, ungovernable.
Yeah, that's the statement.
Yes, and all that. So in view of that, he organized.
But that's an allegation, though.
No,
let's say it's an alleged organization.
Okay,
allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. That he brought some of these insurgents from neighboring countries, and at the end of the day, just to cut a long story short, when Jonathan threw in the towel and said, let peace reign, and congratulated Buhari for winning the election, even when the counting was still ongoing, and all that. So that to some extent. So at the end of the the insurgents, the terrorists now say, Oga, pay us our dues. But now say there's no job to be done again.
Because at the end of the day,
yes,
I won the election.
I won the election. So there's no job to be done again. So in view of that, they were stranded. And they've already been stationed in various forests.
To unleash their men.
Yes, if Buhari did not win. So it's a kind of a survival thing.
Okay.
You know, so they decide to be kidnapping, doing all sorts of things, you know, so that they can survive. So that is the genesis of it. And that is the reason why, in most cases, you know, nothing could happen. You know, government did not take a very draconian measures against them because allegedly they were involved in terms of
financing
them. Yes, in terms of financing them, and that is why it's not just direct financing. Okay. What they normally do is indirect financing.
Okay, when you say indirect, how?
Yes, indirect. You know, when the people capture, when they kidnap Nigerians, you know, and what happened at the end of the day, you know, government will just go into negotiation, you know, and start to negotiate with them. And when you say negotiation, a lot of millions, if not billions
pass
of
through
naira.
the line.
Yes, now it's involved. You know, so it now became a habit, a tradition.
A business.
Yes, a business. You know, and as a result, more groups now started
springing up. Different names,
yes, because
it
was now seen as a lucrative business. You know, and so when Buhari saw that, in the National House of Assembly, some northerners now say, hey, if you could give amnesty
to the militants in Niger
Delta.
Delta.
To the militants in Niger Delta. Why can't you give amnesty to this group of people? Because they're also agitators, you know. And they bought the idea and started, gave them rehabilitation, if you like, and started, you know, recruiting them into Nigerian army. You know, and having, you know, so it's like a pig is always a pig. Even when you give the white lace to a pig and say, hey, don't enter the mud again, just respect yourself, I've given you a white lace. The next mud the pig will see is still going to enter.
Because that's the lifestyle of a pig.
Why, so what do I mean by that analogy? Is the fact that members of Boko Haram were already in the Nigerian army. So they were giving information, you know, to their members. And that is why, at the end of the day, our Nigerian soldiers could not do anything. Otherwise, these are people who are not trained. You can't compare them to our army, Nigerian army, that are well trained. You know, they are well trained. And they've served in international
peacekeeping organizations.
And they did very well, excellently well. So why can't they deal with these people with rags who are not well trained and all that? Which means there are people, top government officials behind them. Let me shock you. Recently, you heard, this was in the news, it's not being alleged. A senator, you know, compound was filled with about 1,500 machines in his compound. And in the same compound, they had a clinic. And when all these insurgents are injured,
they bring them there.
Yes, they bring them to his compound, they are treated, and all that and all that. Will the government say they are not aware of it? What did they do with the information? You know, they would have taken advantage of information and deal with it. What about Shegumi, who were aware anytime the insurgents are in trouble, he comes out, instead of him to criticize, he start looking for a way to encourage them by saying government should leave them. For example, what US did recently in Sokoto, instead of him to applaud it and say, hey, the American people did very well. Rather, he was saying, no, the Americans are enemies. You know, they are not supposed to do such a thing. Rather, government is supposed to call them and dialogue with them. When it's so obvious, in international relations, terrorism, you wipe them out. Okay. You wipe out terrorists. You don't negotiate with terrorists because you are encouraging it. You're encouraging it. And that perhaps explain the reason why government have to collaborate. Because it's like the present government could not handle the situation again.
So they need
there's an in-house there's an in-house thing.
All right, Prof.
You know?
We have to go on a short break. We'll have to go take a short break now. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation. All right, thank you so much for staying with us still on the program 60 Minute Nigeria, broadcasting live on independent television. So we've been looking at the collaboration, if you want to call it, between the U.S. government and the Nigerian government in bombing of ISWAP and ISIS terrorists in Nigeria, trying to unearth the truth out of what happened last week, Wednesday. My guests are still here: Owen Olowu, a lecturer and a public affairs analyst, and Professor Anthony Jewere, also a lecturer and a public affairs analyst. So, Prof, you were making a point before we went on that.
Yes.
Let me allow you to
Yes.
finally land down before I come to
yes. So like I was saying, there's already a scenario on ground.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? So it's like Tinubu, President Tinubu came and inherited liability.
A bigger liability.
Yes, a bigger liability. What do I mean by that? The military have already been polluted. The Nigerian military have already been polluted by the background story I just gave to you. Already been polluted. So there's nothing he can do to solve the problem, because all efforts since he came to power, to solve this problem, insurgency, insecurity in the country, prove abortive.
Okay.
Because there's internal sabotage.
Inside the military?
Yes, inside the military. All right? And that is why the retired General Musa.
Yeah, Christopher
Yes,
Musa.
Christopher Musa. Because he saw that this man is a performer. Irrespective of the fact that he has retired, he brought him back. Because he wants somebody to do something to stop this insecurity in the country.
Okay.
And international law, by the grace of God, is allowed.
Yes, sure.
That you can assist a country that having problem with insecurity. Because international law is not looked, the country directly involved is not seen as the only person that is suffering from insecurity.
Yeah,
because
it's a global.
Yeah, it's a global thing. Why terrorism is a global thing? Why? Because like Nigeria, they have all sorts of embassies in various countries.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? Embassy from various, including American embassy.
Yes.
Okay, United Nations, they're also there. And still remember what happened some years ago.
When they bombed the UN embassy in Abuja.
Yes, in Abuja. So it's not just Nigeria per se. So that is why President Trump was looking at it from global perspective. Okay. Not just the Nigerian perspective, from global perspective. Because not just Nigeria or American citizens going to affect. Okay. It can affect all of that. You know how these Islamic fundamentalists operate. The moment they see that even a country having a sympathy, the country did not even invade them. The moment you have a sympathy with the so-called oppressors, like US, Britain, and the rest, they attack such a country. So in view of that, Tinubu was not out of order when he allowed the US to invade, the hideout of these terrorists. Okay. Though some argued that he's not even aware. It's after the whole
We're
thing.
going to talk about that.
The whole thing has been done before he was informed.
Okay.
But whatever it is, okay, there's a green light at the end
of the tunnel.
All
right. Owen, let me come to you. This issue is an issue that has been on the public domain, because the next question will be: do you think this was a collaboration between the US government and the Nigerian government? Because like he said, I also have that question I had before, because a lot of people are saying the Nigerian government were not even aware that the US government were in Nigeria already to carry out that strike in Sokoto. Do you foresee a collaboration, or they took us unawares?
It's something I tried as much as possible to avoid.
Why did you say so?
To avoid speculation.
Okay.
I tried to avoid hearsay. I like facts. More so, the topic that we are discussing today is about unearthing the truth. And what is truth? Truth is based on facts.
Yeah.
So when you say you heard people say, people can say anything. But regardless, when you see a snake, whichever way you kill the snake,
in as much as the snake
dies, the bottom
dies,
line is that the snake is dead. So when you hear people speculate because they don't have any facts, they don't have any evidence to say that there was no collaboration between Nigeria and the United States before they bombed Sokoto. Do you know what it means to invade another country's airspace? I also know that the United States has aircraft that can enter an airspace undetected, sophisticated
because they've done that before. When they tend to move,
they
one
can
of
enter
citizens,
and then you will not detect. And also too, like I earlier posited, it's in the news these Tucano bombs that were launched from the sea, from the Gulf of Guinea, the Atlantic Ocean, as in almost 1,000 kilometers away.
And it dropped.
What they call precision bomb. It hit the target
without missing
the target.
Yes,
it's a GPS signal and everything. It hit the target with very, I don't think there's no error. So what that Tinubu is aware, Tinubu is not aware, it is not for us to say.
Okay.
Now the government of the United States, the office of the president, the Pontus of the President of the United States of America, has come up to say that there was collaboration between them and Nigerian government. So what are we to be saying there was no collaboration?
Okay.
Because when people talk, I just look at them because I don't like to speculate, because something that you cannot substantiate, you should desist from saying it.
True.
So the thing is that the only thing I want to say here is that I want to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for having the courage, because if this thing had happened under Buhari, I am very sure that Buhari would have blocked it.
Oh, yes.
Because why? Yes, Buhari, because if there was no nod, there was no, this was the push that President Buhari, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu needed. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually meant where to tamper insecurity, because no country can prosper in this security. And you are talking about, we were talking about, we were like, why are they interested in our security? Why are they interested in helping us to stamp out insecurity? My brother, Nigeria is a country of over 200 million people. Yeah. Which country in the West African coast will have refugee camps that will accommodate 100 million?
100 million, yeah.
If there was crisis, there is war in Nigeria, for instance. So their intervention is very timely, and I want to tell you for free that was just the right. You will see they've gone out on these terrorists, these ISWAP people, ISIS people, whatever their name is. I don't even want to care. They've gone out on them.
They've been generalized now as a terrorist group.
Yes, terrorist group. Do you know that they are even begging to negotiate now? That they should come, that the government should come and talk. The next stage we are in now is that these terrorist groups
and now
they are begging government to come to the table so that they can talk now. And it will be foolish. I don't think this government will stoop to that point to come and negotiate. A lot was involved in pre-US intervention in this matter.
True.
A lot. Because if the president go too hard on these people, they can even kill him in Aso Rock. Because many of these people who are sponsoring terrorism, they are even in his government. They are even ministers. They are ministers. People are even speculating that, are you not aware a moment ago when the current vice president was a senator, a governor in Borno State, that it was in his house, Kabir Sokoto went to hide when they were looking for him. Yes. The man that did that Mandela bombing in 2004, thereabout. Yeah. It was in his house that the man went to hide.
And it was proved.
I don't know. I told you I don't like to speculate. I said, I heard though, that they said, so what I'm trying to say is that the people who are surrounding the president of this nation, they are sympathizers. And what if I tell you that? What if we see like Sheikh Gumi is playing to the gallery?
Okay.
Sheikh Gumi, what if he's playing to the gallery? What I mean is this: what if Sheikh Gumi just taking sides with these militants, with these terrorists, because he has seen prior to now that the Nigerian government does not have the willpower to exterminate them. Yeah. It just, many of us can be friends with thieves.
Absolutely.
Because we just
maybe you have a choice. You're gaining out of them, or
you say, let me not be friend with the thief. Yeah. You know he's stealing, though. Yeah. You don't have the courage to speak truth to this thief, because you yourself, you don't have what it takes to protect yourself from the thief. And the state that's supposed to protect you,
the state seems to be weak,
yes,
somehow.
So Sheikh Gumi may just be playing to the gallery. Let me just support these people and gain some relevance in the process and all that. Or Sheikh Gumi again, because of the religious fanatics and the extremists, and of course anything that anti-US. You know, he was saying that President Tinubu would have sought help from that the United States,
Turkey,
from Turkey,
from,
Palestine or Pakistan, and maybe China. I think he mentioned China. He said the US is infidel.
Yeah, probably because he don't love the US.
Not like don't love because the US is very brutal when it comes to terrorism.
Yeah.
The US does not handle terrorism with kid glove. So President Tinubu has gotten the nod, has gotten the nudge
from
that
the
he
world
needs
power
to
that he
kill
needs.
to kill terrorism. My brother, from now on, we will have peace. I'm just telling you,
just hope
because
so and pray
see
so.
that first bombing,
Yeah.
that first bombing
like a
from
preamble.
that first bombing, do you know, like I told you earlier, do you know how many bombings have taken place between that time and now? These terrorists, they are on the run. And of course, all those our neighbors, bordering us, they have intensified security in their border.
Okay.
See, I was even saying a long time ago, why will you catch these terrorists and be announcing to the world that you have killed, you have captured 60 terrorists and you have killed them, you have captured them, you are going to try them. Try what? You should be shoot at sight, kill them, don't even report that you have killed them.
The military are saying when they want to do shoot aside, that will come for them not to do that.
Prof, I just told you. Prof has told you, and it's in public
now
notice.
When they are ready to
it's
do
in
that,
public notice that the military has been infiltrated
by the
same people, and they have sponsors. Let me just tell you, I said I don't speculate.
Yeah.
There is speculation out there, which may be true too, that the high-ranking military officers are benefiting from these things.
Yes.
Because there is huge budget that comes for security, purchase of weapons. They are the people who are happy to get, yes, now. There's a siphon some, they keep some, and then they get weapons and substandard ones, so that it's business for them.
Okay.
But now, it's brutal force. I have said on this studio that these people, I preached in India, say, these people don't reach us and do.
True.
Nigerian military, sir,
is
one of the best in Africa. Our ground forces, we have gone to keep peace. Recently said that there was one crisis in which country they did our neighbor here, Benin Republic here.
A military coup.
Benin Republic here.
Yeah.
Did we not go there to help them?
To help them.
We are helping people when our own house is not there. So in my brother, let us this is not a trivial matter, and I like us to take it with all the seriousness that it deserves.
All right.
I want to thank the President of the United States of America.
Okay.
And I want to also thank those people who took our cry to them.
Yeah.
This is started like a joke. A lot of
when
cry,
they started the debate,
a lot of pressure. Not even over there. Our people here, Christians here, you know, like I said it on this TV, I said the media before now has been an accomplice to the killings because they underreport it. Because this media is supposed to be the one who are supposed to help us to allow this thing. And of course, because the reason is obvious reason why they underreport is because regulations. You know, that not everything. Let's not paint our country in bad light. Let us manage the issues. With time, we are going to be able to. So to be very honest with you, it gladdens my heart.
Okay.
And like I told you, this is a top military secret. A lot is still going on the ground.
All right.
And if we will not expose, we don't know. Even the very high-ranking military officers that are not in this operation, the operation has a code name.
Yes,
information is not shared like that. As in information on how to hit targets and all that. Intelligence is guided. And our governors before now said they know where these people are. Who are these people? Prof just told you here that these people are not even trained. They are not trained. They're not resourced. My brother, if they give me and you gun, if they equip all of us, let me just tell you the truth, sir. Yeah. If they equipped all of us, you equip me, give me gun on my street. Everybody gun on my street. Who is that person that will come up to my street and say, want to come and do anything? And basically we go. How? Because they have privilege to with weapons, and you think they have power. Tiny boys that if you say, keep your gun aside, you will break them.
They can't even face you
one-on-one. Who are these people? So, President Tinubu, to be very honest with you, has gotten the nudge that he needs, the nod. And I think the man is not backing down.
All right.
The man is keen in, and the man is going to follow it because there's nobody in his government now, no, all those northern elites and all that. This has not come to open air now. It's no longer secret. Nobody will say, play down. Before they listen to Shegumi, who is Shegumi?
They do.
So I believe we are going to get solid results from all this. Honestly.
And to pick it up from there,
all right, Prof.
you realize that most of these top military people, you know, like he said, they benefit a lot from insurgency.
Yeah.
And that is why you discovered that they're always coming up with fake reports.
Yeah.
When I say fake report, they say, oh, we have been able to kill 100 and something Boko Haram terrorists. No audio,
no visuals, nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show
so
for
it's just like a public statement.
Yes, we are now in full control. Okay, then they will go to Tinubu. We are doing very well. Just increase
the budget.
The budget. You know, so that we make more money. You know. Now, why there's speculation, especially when it comes to international conflict resolution, is that, you know, anything to do with security, the information is normally not shared.
No, not at all.
It's not shared like that. You know,
It's confidential.
you could still remember when Eric Moore, the Senate man from US, came. You know, and when he landed in Abuja, you know, the national security advisor,
NSA, know who about
tried to dress him up, dress the whole thing with the dress, presented all the Nigerian bottled water,
the good report,
and all that. The man was just laughing. He pretended to be stupid.
Of course.
If you watch very well, nobody took one of the bottled water to drink. When the American embassy have more
details about what is happening,
distilled water,
clean water.
Clean water. It's like, this is not what we came for.
We didn't come to joke here.
So they went to the source. They went to bed with saw graves.
Mass graves.
Yes, mass graves and all that. And I said, the man said, oh my God, I'm finished. That he cannot imagine people being eliminated and all that. So he reported, don't forget, Trump gave them a job to do.
Yeah.
So when he went back, you know, he raised alarm and said, this is terrible what my eyes saw, not what these government people are saying, you know. It was a week or plus after that, Trump took his action.
Yes,
which means away. They saw the thing right on the spot. What happened? You know, and directly or indirectly, our President Tinubu was happy.
Yes.
Hey, they don't help me for
they
this
don't help me for this one. So
Lord,
at least my hands are not tied.
And the man will not rest. He will bomb them.
Yes, so the issue is that America cannot share that security information, because intelligence report is kind of secretive.
Absolutely.
You don't
confidential.
share it because you don't know where the thing is going to leak to. So that gives birth to all the speculations. You know, whether
the government was in collaboration
or
was
whether
not
and all that. Like you said, the issue is not who is aware and who is not aware.
At the end of the day, the aim was met.
Get the job done.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay,
got the job done, and they are still doing the job.
Okay, Prof, we're pressed on time, but let's begin to wrap up. I would have loved to ask, why Sokoto? Why not Borno, the peak? Why not Yobe? Why not Zamfara? Why Sokoto? But he said something on it before you came on.
Yes, the Americans don't operate like that. Look, let me tell you, it's not like our own case. They do a detailed information, intelligence. That's what they call it.
Gathering.
They gathered. It was later discovered, like I read, that the headquarters where they organized.
That was what he said.
Yeah, where they organized for their launch is Sokoto.
That was what he said.
All the bandits, all the commanders, you know, they came in this particular incident.
Wow.
They all came to organize. You know, they were preparing to bomb 4 states. You know,
simultaneously
on Christmas Day. Yes. And America got wind of it. So they all concentrated. It's like their job had been made
easier for them.
You know, so that's why they came and finished them.
Wow.
You know, whereas if America had, can you imagine if America had shared that information with the Nigerian army, they would have left that place.
True. They would have left that place. True.
Yes, that's why security information is something very highly secretive. Okay. You don't share it. Especially when Americans also know who the Nigerian
government or people are.
Or soldiers are. You know, there's Boko Haram.
They are inside them.
So they are aware. They do their homework.
Okay. There's something we call decoy. Decoy. Yeah. Sokoto was a decoy for those terrorists. You see, when they say you can have a thief, an armed robber on the streets, the armed robber will not operate on that street because he doesn't want to drag attention to his
terrain.
Everybody, if you live in the environment where an armed robber stays, you will be safe.
To an extent.
To an extent, because he will not want to do it within. He will be going elsewhere to do what he wants to do. So Sokoto as it were was a decoy.
It was seen to be an innocent place, but it is not innocent.
Nothing happens there. No operation happens there. The attention is Borno and all Zamfara, all those places, those forests. Where they just have camps there, where they get their weapons, their weaponry, and everything. The headquarters is Sokoto.
And why would the government say they're not aware?
It came to us like a surprise. As if, Sokoto?
Why Sokoto?
Borno?
Exactly.
Why not this and why not that? Sir, the government has been aware all along.
Yes.
But the government has been handicapped. It appears the kind of weaponry and the kind of finance these people get is enough to cause a regime change. Enough to cause a regime change. See, Tinubu was particularly at their mercy. Because the people who are surrounding him are practically, you don't know who is who.
We're getting pressed for time because we need to go. But our parting shot in one minute. Prof, your parting shot. What should the government do? Should the collaboration continue, or it should end here? One minute before we wrap up.
The collaboration should continue. I personally don't trust in sharing intelligence reports. But I prefer, after America has hit their target in Nigeria, they can tell Tinubu, I think we have
we are done.
We are done.
We've done our job.
We've done our job. Then our Nigerian army can go and do the mop-up exercise. That is those that the remnants of his insurgents that are running away, they can go and start blocking them. Start blocking them. And by the time they do that, the country will be stable. You know why? Because our agricultural products are being affected. Food, in fact, they are the cause of high cost of food insecurity. Our GDP, GNP, they are going up because of the activity of insurgency. So it must be wiped out.
Owen, your parting shot.
Well, to me, I know that we are in for good times. And President Tinubu will not back down as it is. And the United States of America, they don't embark on any course and not get it done to the latter. So the only thing I wish to say here is that I'm not President Tinubu, because there's been call for negotiation with these people. The people, they made video and they're asking for negotiation. I know that we will not grant them that privilege, and they should go all out for them. And you know, when they changed the Minister of Defense recently, we knew that they were ready now. And what made them to even choose that man was because of the pressure from the United States. No, the antecedent of the man that he has done before, and also to the pressure. They now saw that it's not time to be serious, and they chose that man, and we are seeing results. And we know that, of course, we are in for good times. We are going to experience peace in this country.
Thank you very much, Owen Olowu. Thank you for coming. Prof, also, we thank you for joining us on the program. That's the start of our package on the show. Next week, your regular host, Egosa Agbola, definitely will be back on the program. I'm Lawrence Osifo. We'll still continue to wish you a prosperous New Year 2026. Bye for now.
Certainly the best.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, Ọba Àtọ́pẹ́. Yari yari, Ọba Àtọ́pẹ́.
The Oba of Benin added a colorful mood to the year's celebration as he walks round the city center amidst cheers.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about
what I said. So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They
smart.
can't sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up and dragging on both sides, you cannot you cannot breathe. And these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
Oh, my son, my dear. We say, oh, my dear. Oh, we're not here. Is that where you not over? Yes. You not do so much. Yes, my dear. Where's it happening? Where's it happening? Oh, it's not here. Where's it? My dear. It's
The Esama of Benin Kingdom thanked the new Edion for visiting him and advised them to always abide by the rules and regulations of their new positions. The Esama urged them to indulge in what will continue to bring development and progress to the community.
When I say it's your job, I went to us and I know what I will.
Yes, Papa.
Look, Caliban, what you know, that we said. Who paid you? Who paid you?
Papa.
Eko mwana sewa. Ewa ya lolote nete dirwe ya sewa mafoma. Awe huwe nini? Ejo wuki. Ejo na wele. Ejo na kulupe. Ejo na mnuri ya kwa ewa kiwada. Bawi kwa ba. Ojo wele. Kaja de nena ya de wuyi. Bawi kwa de wuna no mase loka yi.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Hello viewers, welcome to Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and it is that program that gives you and I opportunity to talk about some of the trending issues in the country and how it affects us as citizens. So today we're going to be talking about the withdrawal of police personnel from very important personalities in the country and how it's going to be affecting us as individuals, or better still, how it's going to impact us as citizens. And then again, the debates on legalizing gun ownership. So let's go talk to some persons and hear what they have to say in regards to this topic. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji.
The Nigerian security architecture, I think it is a very, very wrong approach at this time. When you talk about developed countries and thinking of how police operate, the environments are not the same. First, we do not have good roads. That when you call for police in an emergency response, if it's like in the developed countries, you see police appearing within minutes. You hear of cases of assassinations in places like America. It's only a matter of days they will find the killers of those people. Those are not the situations in Nigeria. People kidnap people in their houses, people kill people on the way, they don't even know who the killers are. The only thing too that also makes some of these people not to be on the road is the simple reason that when they know that there are escorts following some VIPs and some people on the way, they know that it's possible that at some point they will see unexpected police presence. But when they now get to the point where they now say, no, they cannot go with police and then the road is free and all that, you are only inviting terror back to us. If I'm traveling on the way and I know I'm licensed to have a gun in my car, some other persons are coming, and maybe we run into hoodlums, and they know that out of these 20 cars, there's a likelihood that 15 to 16 have arms in them. That will also create that sense of security for the people that are involved. So I just think that it is, yes, the idea to say let's have police at different points is there, but the architecture and infrastructure to support such an idea, we don't have it yet. You don't have drones flying everywhere. If you are overseas, you press a button in your house, they know it is emergency. The police will come, condone of your area, and the people cannot even escape. The police right now, as they are, first, there are no vehicles, they are not well equipped. So how do you even do it? I think that the decision by Mr. President needs to be reviewed.
I see it as a right development based on this issue that the president has made concerning police should be withdrawn from notable personalities that are in our society. You discover that for the police to be able to combat insecurity, we have less police in the society. Most of all these notable personality, you just discover that one person will be having 10 police. 10 police. If one particular person is having a police, about 10 attached to him, and the common man has no security to be attached to him, he has no security to be attached to him, then what is the fate of the masses? But to my own take, with this direction, this step that the president has taken, that all police official, army and the officials should be withdrawn from notable personality is a welcome development, so that these officers will be able to go to the city, go to the street, go to the rural area to be able to combat these bandits. Because if all this caliber of men, notable personality, are be giving policemen policemen are attached to them, it will not be a wake-up development. But if they withdraw them, everyone, all hands will not be on deck to fight insurgency, to fight bandits. But when these men are secured, they will feel less concerned about the masses. I believe that with this step that the president has taken is a very good step so that security for lives and property concerning the common man will be appreciated. On these aspects, it has advantage and it also have disadvantage. It is good for people to have self-defense against this insecurity. But the other way around, when every man is given that license to get a gun or harm himself against attack, sometimes most people will not use it for self-protection, but rather they will begin to use it for destructive activities, like going into using it to embark on armed robbery and different. If somebody offends somebody, he can just bring out his gun and do killing. That is why it will not be encouraged. But the only advantage for the government is that let them employ more hands. Let them get more securities, people, recruit them, train them, tell them what to do, the rules and the don'ts that will govern their security apparatus. All these things should be put in place. Then with more and being employed and well paid, I believe that with all this, they can be able to contain this insurgency and bandits in our country.
We all know that the constitutional role of the police is the protection of lives and property. And like the president has rightly stated, the protection of lives of Nigerians are very paramount. And like the VIPs are still part of the citizens that the police is constitutionally empowered to protect. But you also realize from where the president is coming from, these VIPs form more or less like less than 10% of the larger population of Nigerians. And in that light, he feels that more attention should be given to the masses, to the larger population of Nigeria who are now faced with the challenges of insecurity, while also trying to address the manpower need of the Nigerian police. So in that regard, I totally support that directives that all available manpower now should be channeled towards the protection of the majority of Nigerians outside the VIPs that took a chunk of that number. Looking at on the right of Nigerians to own guns, I still believe that Nigeria is not yet ripe enough for such. Even in countries where they have such policies, they are trying to go back. If you see what's going on in America now, they are even trying to look at gun rights laws to see how it can be reviewed. So it's not a policy that has worked or that has been sustained in even where it is currently in force. So for Nigeria, it is not just our only gun that will solve the problem of insecurity. I can tell you, with the kind of anger, with the kind of issues we have now, if Nigerians own guns, they will be using it to settle personal scores, not even the insecurities now. So that might not really solve the problem. I think solving the problem, we need to go into community policing, volunteer security, seeing how well we can domesticate security, make security the duty of everybody, not necessarily a centralized arm of government like you have the centralized police now. So with that, I believe we can substantially bring down, if not to a barest minimum, the current challenges we have now. So it's not really whether we carry guns or not that would solve it, no.
It is a very good thing that the president is actually looking at how he can, curb security by having a lot of, security personnel on ground. But, you know, if you have to fight insecurity by creating another level of insecurity, that's a very big problem, all right? Yes, we know that the VIPs have a lot of this, you know, security escort with them. But if you look at this person too, they are human beings. And, you know, somebody who has that kind of, you know, level of position requires some level of security, you know, around him. So for me, I will not, you know, totally say that it is okay to withdraw all the, you know, security personnel from the VIP. No, I do not think that's the best way to go. Instead, I think they should look for a way to have more persons in the force, in the military, in the police, and every other security agencies that can help, you know, in this insecurity. Because the VIP are human beings. The right to own a gun, I really do not think that Nigeria is matured for such a thing. Yes, we have that in some developed countries like America, but I do not, you know, advise that such law should be put here in Nigeria, because a lot of persons are going to take advantage of this particular, you know, situation, and they use it to do other very, very, you know, malicious activities. So I do not believe that Nigeria is ripe for, you know, self-ownership of gun at this particular point in time.
Insecurity in Nigeria is eating so deep into the life and well-being of Nigerians. Like in the area of business, it has affected us a lot. Like, for example, those our mothers who travel to village markets in this season of December, where they travel to buy plantain, yams, and others. We see many of them were unable to do this because of the insecurity. And that has also affected their own family, because they will not be able to provide for them because they were unable to do their business the way it ought to be. Like those of us in the real estate sectors, I think it affected us the more, because this is one of the most funny December I've ever experienced, whereby our brothers and sisters in diaspora, they are scared to return home to celebrate with us. And after they have saved this money, and they buy property at the end of the year, so that at least they will not count on one thing that they have achieved. But this time, many of them, they give up. Instead of coming to Edo State or so or Nigeria to buy property, you will hear them saying that they want to go to places like Singapore, places like Spain. They will tell you the money they will use to buy property in Abuja, like maybe 350 million, 150 million, 200 million, is enough for them to get property in Spain. And that property in Spain will give them high return of investment than the property in Nigeria. And another thing that affected those in diaspora and the VIPs, let me use that word, very important personalities in our country, is the new law that has been passed by the president, that police personnel should be withdrawn from this set of persons. And you know, the current situation of insecurity in Nigeria, so these persons, they will not be free to come in, because it's as if them coming in, they have signed their death sentence because the security is a threat to them. And at the same time, the police personnel that would have been of assistance to them to guide them is being withdrawn. So it's just as if they want to jump into a hot fry pan. So these ones is what stopped them from not coming to Nigeria, and it affected our business a lot. So those persons we are all to care for, these things restrict us to do a lot for our loved ones. Because if you don't sell property to get money, so there's no way you are going to spend money. So if you check, though we are having traffic and all these around, but the truth is that the well-being, the lifestyle of these our citizens is being compromised, because insecurity has cost them a lot. If the guns is being legalized to every citizen, it's going to cause more havoc at this initial stage. So I believe instead of legalizing gun to individuals, let's recruit more local security personnel that understand this terrain of this environment, because a stranger will not know my community more than me. So if they empower these personnel, give them good sophisticated weapon that they can use to withstand these perpetrators, the criminals, it will be able to at least help us a lot. So owning a gun or legalizing gun to Nigerians, Africans, there's a way we think. Even some of the trained policemen that they are handling weapons, we see what happens after some of them have taken what they are not supposed to take. After when their adrenaline gets high, when they are angry, we see how they misuse the gun. So now legalizing gun for a trained person, a civilian, is going to cause more havoc and disaster to us. So I'm not in support of that.
While the opinions of our respondent varies, and some think that the statement by the president to withdraw police personnel from VIPs in the country in order to combat crime, some are also saying that it is not a welcome development. But in all of this, the security of citizens and properties should be a priority. That is what people are clamoring for, and it is something that should be done in order for lives and property of citizens to be secured and for security to be guaranteed. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji. Many thanks for watching.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV,
certainly the best.
Ugeni Madonna, Imazedion, Orero, obviously Agbo, Emanazo, or Ugeni Madonna.
You will have to serve the community for 30 years before you come to this stage. They will ordain you ordain title. Then by then you are one of the elder.
This year now, we don't read the year, so that's why we can do this year.
Historically, joining the Elders' Council, an individual must have reached a certain age and must have made significant contributions to the community through leadership, service, or other meaningful ways. There was jubilation in the community as sons and daughters of Okada, both at home and in the diaspora, trooped out to be part of the ceremony with various homes of the initiates agog with festivities. Friends and well-wishers of those initiated into the Elders' Council jubilated at the Ogwedion after performing all traditional rites. The elders, known as Edion, in company with their loved ones, danced to their various homes where guests and family members were entertained.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, guys, it's another lovely Monday evening, and of course, it's my pleasure to have you join me on yet another amazing episode of your #1 rendezvous for guys on television, and that's none other than the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television, reaching you live from the City of Bronze. Yep, I love to call it the city where the king is truly king. Now, for starters, the Guys Hangout Show is one show that teaches men to prioritize themselves, to put themselves first, to take very good care of themselves, and to invest in themselves. Only that way can they invest in others. There's a whole lot that's expected of men out there, right? As a man, you are, in fact, like some adages would say, the moment you are born as a man, the world is on your shoulders. So you can't afford to fail, because if you fail, it means that you have failed everyone around you. So basically, it's not easy being a man. My name is Harry Aigboje, and of course, it's my pleasure to say welcome on board once again. Now, I'm not alone. I've got an amazing gentleman with me, and together we're going to be taking a look at a very, very interesting conversation today. Now, he goes by the name of Michael Imagbedion. It's good to have you in the house, Michael.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here again.
Absolutely. It's been a while, I mean.
Yeah. A bit of work. I've been swamped at work, so only one or two things,
So how's it been, though?
It's been great. It's been great. We have to make ends meet.
Definitely. I mean, it's all part of what I said earlier, that, as a man, a whole lot is expected of you, so you can't afford not to, live up to expectations.
Of course, yeah. In this rigid economy, you have to be rigid.
You've got to be rigid.
Of course, yeah.
When times get hard, you go harder.
Yeah, of course.
All right, welcome on board.
Thank you.
Now, so we're taking a look at a very important discourse tonight, all right? It's something that has to do with love, lust, and obsession. Okay, now as distinct as these three words are, there seems to be some sort of similarities between them. They are as similar as they are different. For example, love is defined by so many persons in so many ways. So if you ask like 5 persons to define love, for instance, there's a tendency that their definitions are going to differ. So, love is something that is based on people's experiences. So how I will define love is probably different from how you will define it. So if you were asked to define love, for instance, how would you define it?
Yeah, thank you very much. Love is actually a very, very important thing, all right? And over the years, the word love has been bastardized by different persons. And I will want to define love as putting someone else's needs before yours, all right? So I want to make use of an example of a mother. Now, if a mother, maybe a child is ravenous and the mother is ravenous to you, hungry. See, if the mother has 500 naira, the mother will want to spend it on the child. That's because the mother loves the child. They want the love. That's what they call the love, because the child needs to come before the mother. That's the example of love.
Okay.
You get, so it has to be putting somebody. Doesn't mean you have to kill yourself. No. You get my point.
Okay.
So it has to be. You just have to consider the person first. Most of the things that you think about, the person comes first. Get now, maybe as a guy, you want to venture into business. You think about the lady. Join me. Let's think. Let's meet minds.
Let's rub minds.
Yeah. Let's meet minds. You get. So that person's needs have to come before yours. Even if you are going to a job or particular thing, you have to consider the person. Will it affect this my partner?
Okay.
Will all my attention not be sold into this my job? So that's just the most of the concept about love.
So in other words, love is putting someone else's needs before yours.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so let's take a look at the next word in this context. How would you define lust?
All right. I think the word lust is actually ambiguous in
Okay.
nature. Yeah. In the relationship context, lust will be taken or carried away by what you see.
Okay.
What you hear.
Being physically attracted to someone.
Physically attracted to what you see.
Okay.
Like most guys today, they are moved by voluptuous ladies. They are moved by voluptuous ladies. They're not actually moved by. See, they just want to show off. They want to showcase that this is the person I'm with. There's this phrase or this cliche that people normally use now. They want everybody to comment God when in their post.
Okay. So they're looking for trophy women.
Of course. You understand? So this is that voluptuous lady. They want to. So they sometimes confuse that thing for love. Most of the time, they want to always call the person. They want to always see the person. They want to always go out to the person to showcase. It's not actually love.
Okay.
You get. They're just moved by this.
By the person's appearance.
Of course, not actually what they feel.
Okay.
You understand what they feel from the heart.
Okay.
Just what they are moved by the physics stuff. the flesh.
Okay.
You understand? So that's just it, basically.
And then, of course, there's the third one, which is obsession.
Obsession.
You know, obsession is often mistaken for love, right? This is because when someone is obsessed, for instance, they tend to go the extra mile to do certain things that might suggest that they are actually acting in that person's favor.
Yeah.
But when you take a look at the extremes of those things that they're doing, you get to realize that it's really not love after all.
Of course, yeah.
That, you know, there's something else that's driving them. There's another driving force entirely. Yeah. So how do you know when someone is obsessed and not in love?
All right. You know, this obsession thing is I don't know the point right now, but many persons are upset, but they actually think they're in love.
Okay.
All right. Now, for example, now most people in relationship, they don't want to give their partner breathing space. That definitely does not love.
They're obsessed.
They're crazily obsessed.
Okay.
Now, if you actually love someone, sometimes you want to give the person breathing space so that the person can be happy. Okay, I'm at work and you keep calling me and you keep saying that person's voice I hear is not the female voice that I hear. That will lead to jeopardy. That's not love. You're pushing me to the wall.
Okay.
You want to make me go crazy. I'll not be happy. And in love, you have to be happy. There has to be a certain great amount of happiness. But this one, if you are pushing me to the wall, I'll fall into melancholy. I'll start thinking like, okay, let me do what to please this person. You know, I want to please this person. Then it becomes bogus life.
So the person begins to walk on eggshells.
You understand? So I begin to live this kind of bogus life. I'll start pretending to please you. And of course, I won't be happy internally.
And you won't be yourself.
I won't be myself. I will not be pretending where you are there. And that's not really love. Love is just, I just have to be free. I can do nothing things where you are. And you like me like that. You get?
Okay.
So that obsession now comes with extremity. You understand? That's what I put it.
Okay, now we've seen several cases of men who went as far as inflicting bodily harm on, you know, people they claim to be in love with. You see guys who are in relationships and you begin to hear stories of them, you know, like I saw a particular video, for instance, on Facebook of a guy who stabbed his girlfriend in the belly and she was in the pool of her blood, right? I don't know what happened between them. I think the girl also harmed him somehow because both of them were bleeding profusely, right? Now, news has it that it was on account of something that happened between them. It was on account of, you know, the guy suspecting her of having an affair with someone else. Now, some persons have also argued that it is way better to just call it quits if you can no longer, you know, tolerate certain things rather than going as far as inflicting bodily harm. Now, wouldn't you consider that an act of obsession?
Yeah, that should be a wonderful example of obsession.
Okay.
Yeah. See, the person that you love, you don't want to see them hurt. Or you don't want to see them hurt psychologically, emotionally, physically. In fact, if you love a flower, most of the time, let me use that particular Chinese phrase. If you love a flower, you don't pluck it and eat it. You keep watering it.
Okay.
Now, if you love someone,
so you want to watch it grow.
Just want to watch it grow. You want to keep that. You want to see it blossom. You won't hurt them. You do everything. You be their vigilante. You want to protect them at all costs. So going the extreme to want to hurt someone, that's not love. But love will not push you. In fact, love will stop you from hurting the ones you claim to love.
Okay, but some persons have also argued that first off, that's the example I just gave is an offshoot of jealousy or insecurity, right? And then there are people who argue that jealousy is a sign of love. That it takes someone who loves you to be jealous over you.
All right. Okay.
What's your take on that?
Let me step into that.
Okay.
They said, I think there's this disparity between jealousy and insecurity.
Okay.
Jealousy is angry or sad. Somebody have what you want. Insecurity is you are scared to lose what you have.
Okay. Then there's also the dimension of jealousy that suggests that, you know, you might be scared of losing someone. For example, you're in a relationship with someone and you're scared that the person you're with might be giving attention to someone else, which might lead to you losing that person to the other person.
That's what I'm saying right now.
Okay, so you think that is not jealousy?
No. See, if I'm feeling insecure, I'm afraid that they want to come and steal something from me. The jealousy, like the denotative meaning of jealousy is Like you're angry or sad that somebody have what you want.
Okay.
Because your partner is already yours.
Okay.
There's no need to be angry or sad for that. But insecurity is you are scared to lose what you have. So people actually misconstrue both of them. You understand?
Okay.
You understand? That's what the concept about it.
Now, we've seen people who claim to be in love, but if you tell them, okay, for example, there are some ladies that will tell you that, say, some guys cannot stand a sexless relationship, right? And then the moment you tell some guys that, see, there's no sex in this relationship, we're just going to keep it, casual, keep it as platonic as possible. And then they'll tell you, no, it can't work. Now, how can such guys claim to be in love? Do you think that's love? Do you think love is possible without coupling, without sex?
Yeah.
Because we're looking at this now as regards, the lost part. It's like a tripod: love, lust, and obsession. So I want us to look at it holistically. So do you think it's possible for someone to be in love without being lustful?
Yes, thank you very much. That is very, very, very possible. In fact, I think it's more healthy not to have sex, especially in this period, not to have sex in a relationship.
Okay.
Because most times right now, you see some guys, they get tired of the relationship when the sex becomes too much. Before you know it, they want to look elsewhere for fresher meat. You understand? So
okay.
It's actually
do you mean? Do you by any means? Are you by any means referring to over familiarity?
Yeah, over familiarity.
So you get too familiar with it.
Yes. Sometimes maturity comes in. Maturity. What is that? Let's have a talk, right? Let's have a tete-a-tete. Like, what should we and what should we not do? See, if the girl says she doesn't want, that's when the love comes in. You have to respect it because it's not bad for her to reject sex. She says she wants to keep it for you. As a responsible man, you should applaud her.
Okay.
And do your level best to protecting that stuff, protecting everything about it.
Knowing very well that it's still going to be yours in the long run.
Yours for eternity. So you don't have to rush. That's where the love comes in. So most of the time, love brings in understanding. No matter how crazy somebody can be, it brings in understanding. Sometimes that love for that person. See, if the girl say, I don't want that, if you force yourself or you get to do it, maybe
against her will.
Yes. You will hurt her, and somebody that you love, you can't hurt the person. So that's when maturity comes in. So that maturity there have to be this agreement, this consensus that we don't want this particular thing now because, well, it's not actually a need. It's not actually a basic thing that we need right now.
Okay.
Because it's just like a flash before it is gone. Sex ends once it ends in bed. It doesn't continue.
Okay.
The feeling is ethereal. We know that.
Okay.
But it's just, how do I put it? It's ephemeral. You get it's just lasting for a very short time.
Okay.
You get so it's not something that prolongs. So if you really, really love the person, you want to see reasons why the person say, I don't want, and I'm not keeping it for you. That's better. As a man with sagacity, you need to understand that, okay, I'm good with it.
Okay.
You get and flow with it, and you see everything going smoothly. Understand?
All right, thank you very much. Just in case you're just joining us, it's the Guys Hangout show on Independent Television, and tonight we're taking a look at love, lust, and obsession. Now, it's a very interesting topic because, like I said in the opening, these three concepts are closely knitted. They are closely related, and if care is not taken, there's a tendency for you to get them mixed up, right? But they are, three distinct concepts. All right, now, Mike, you said earlier, just before I interrupted you, that there are people who feel entitled to a woman's body. There are guys who believe, just because they're in a relationship with a lady, they should have unfettered access to her body. Now, if you tell them what you just said, that they have to respect a woman's decision to keep herself till marriage, they will also tell you that, well, at least I'm taking care of her. Does that also mean that I should withdraw my finances or do you understand? What do you make of that kind of notion?
All right, that's a poorer mentality. A man that has future plans for a lady and matured upstairs, we don't want to do that. First of all, I don't think she forced you into spending for her.
Okay.
It was just out of willingness.
But we've also seen situations where a lady would, gaslight or manipulate a man into spending for her. Some of them don't outrightly ask
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You understand? I mean, Valentine just, came to an end. And of course, you know what that means. A lot of guys were under intense pressure, to live up to certain expectations, like, buying gifts, sending money, taking care of her and all of that. Some of these ladies don't outrightly ask.
Yeah.
All they do is just complain and tell you, oh, I need to make my hair.
Begin to compare you with.
Do you understand? And begin to, in fact, some of them will even tell you about their friends and what their friends' boyfriends are doing for them.
Guess what? Do you know that my friend Benedicta, the boyfriend,
exactly,
indirect.
Exactly. So some guys see that as an indirect mode of making demands or making requests. What do you make of that?
All right. If you don't have, let the person know you don't have.
Okay.
That's where it comes. In the outset of the relationship, you should know if you want to get, to this thing with, the person, this extravagant person. This person is spendthrift. Only want to ask you for money and everything. It's not the kind of person you are with.
You're dealing with, okay.
When at the outset of the relationship, you knew that this is the kind of person that he is, and you went eventually.
So you're saying that guys should take their time to vet,
of course,
ladies that they are getting involved with.
Study them, but not for too long.
Okay.
You don't be too long. And study them. Know the kind of person you are with. Okay. Some of them can just change up their colors so that camouflage.
And surprises on you. Okay.
Understand? So the truth of the matter is that most of these guys, they don't force you. See, if you know your pocket, go along with the pockets. You don't have to kill yourself. If a guy dies because of a girl, another guy will follow.
Continue from where he stopped.
Not just that, another guy will follow her to your burial. That's the painful part of it. So you don't have to die for a lady. Do the way your pockets can
cut your coat according to your cloth.
Of course, according to your cloth. You understand? So just do the way you think you do. Don't go beyond that. Don't go beyond to please. Human wants are insatiable. Okay. You can borrow 1 million for her. She will still go for somebody that will give out 5 million. Okay. So just do your level best and leave the rest. Understand? So a mature lady will understand.
A mature lady.
Of course.
I think that's very key because the sad thing is a lot of, just like you said, a lot of guys do not take their time to study the kind of ladies that they're getting involved with.
Moved by what they saw. Let me just go into that. Later we'll begin to understand ourselves. Sometimes predicament begin to come up.
And it begins to reveal people's true colors.
Good. That's when you not hear that if I knew this how you were, I wouldn't have entered a relationship with. That's a pang, for people to hear. If I knew you were like this. Okay. You knew from the outset. You just turned the blind eyes.
So you mean guys tend to ignore the red flags from the start?
They tend to, I beg, and this is the kind of person I want body-wise. Just enter, but later they begin to see some terrible things.
Surprises. Okay.
You understand?
Now, you said something earlier about the fear of losing, one's partner as one of the reasons why some guys do what they do, right? Now, do you also agree, because some persons will tell you that, say, if you want to know if someone loves you or if something belongs to you, or if you're a bird, I think there's an adage like that, like if you want to know if your bird is loyal to you, release it, let it fly away, right? If it comes back to you, then it's yours. But if it doesn't come back, then it means it was never yours in the first place. Do you think that rule also applies to relationships?
Of course. Yeah, somebody that really loves you will not want to see you be alone. The person will wants to be with you. Not in the case of the obsession. Okay. It wants to be with you. It wants to ask about you.
Wants to check up on you. Wants to know what's up with you.
I just want to know if you're okay. Oh, you're busy. All right. We can talk some other time. Maturity. So the person that really loves you want to stay in thick and in thin. No matter. See, the person that really loves you, if a problem arises, it won't threaten you with, I will just leave you, we'll break up. That's childishness. The person that really loves you will be like, okay, after the altercation, all right, it's okay. All right,
what's the way forward? Can we sort things out?
You know you were wrong. I'm wrong, actually. I'm sorry. But you know you were wrong, and I will not want that to repeat itself. Be a smooth relationship. Okay. Understand? So the person that really loves you will not want to leave or threaten you with, I'm going to leave, and the kind of stuff. Understand?
Now, how do you deal with this fear of losing a partner? Do you think it's a sign of insecurity? Or do you think it's a healthy feeling that anyone that's in love should have?
Yeah, but it should not be too extreme. Now, if I love my phone because it has so much content, I will not want to lose it. I'll protect it with my life. In fact, when I bought the taxi, I always remove my pocket and hold it in my hand. That's because of the value I place on the phone. Okay. Now, if I'm afraid to lose someone, to me, is one of the peak of love. If I'm not afraid to lose you, it means you don't love them. No worth to me, and there's no love. I've gotten what I want from you, then you can go. But if I have this menial phobia to lose you,
okay,
of course it means that there is love. That's just the concept about it. So your partner must have this tiny fear, like this insecurity. It mustn't be jealous, because sometimes jealousy leads to something crazy.
Okay.
Your emotions will just get the better part of you, and you see yourself doing things that you are not actually or didn't plan for.
Okay.
So that tint of insecurity is actually good. It's actually a good sign. It's a green flag to me. So your partner must have this a little bit of fear, like of not wanting to lose you.
Of losing you. Okay. Now let's take a look at the concept of patience and perseverance, right? As regards love, as regards relationship. Do you think people of this generation are patient enough? Do you think they persevere enough? Because a lot of times you hear stories, or you hear people say stuff like, "See, I have zero tolerance for nonsense. If you misbehave, in fact, I can't even tolerate any drama from anybody." Like, everybody is just so quick to move on. So do you think that's healthy?
I think it's fearfully unhealthy, because then we're in the Gen Z era, whereby people just believe relationship now is more of sex. If you see some guys now, some guys can have their friend. You are very foolish for not sleeping with this girl till now. You understand? So that kind of particular pressure now, it hits on the guy or the girl, or maybe a girl is not actually gaining so much from the guy. There's this pressure from the friends that you're not actually gaining from this guy. Okay. Now, for the patience talks inside. Now, the patience there is not actually there.
Okay.
Anymore. They just see, most of the females want to make quick money. They just want to. They think that the relationship now is an asset. Is like a means of getting money. So if you're not,
so it's a means to an end now.
Of course, like if you are working and you're not giving them money, they keep giving you some signals.
Okay.
Like, see, I'm giving you from now till this particular period.
And if you can't live up to expectation,
I want to buy this Bone Street or Bone Bend, whatever. If you're not able to meet up to the time, I will quit. They will threaten you, and that guy will fall into depression or melancholy.
All right.
You understand?
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. I really wish we had more time to, expatiate on this. We really do have to go. I want to say a very big thank you to you for being a part of the show. We've been taking a look at love, lust, and obsession. Now, these three concepts are very, very related, but at the same time, they are different. They are distinct. Okay, but here's the most important thing in all of this. Whatever you do, ensure that you do it in the spirit of love, right? See, there's a tendency for us to be selfish sometimes, right? We just get carried away by what we need and what we want, but it must not be at the expense of someone else, okay? Yes, we advocate that guys should prioritize themselves, but at the same time, you must understand that you do not exist in a vacuum. So whatever you do, put the interest of your partner into consideration. It's been the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television. My name is Harry Igbo J, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, this is me saying, stay out of trouble and enjoy the rest of your night.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is Anegbete community, situated in Isako Central Local Government Area of Edo State. It is an agrarian community with united people that promotes unity and oneness for peaceful coexistence. The inhabitants of the community migrated from Benin, the cradle of black civilization, a kingdom where king is truly king. The ancestors of Anegbete saw that age was the main determinant of leadership in the rural setting, and the eldest man in the settlement was regarded as the leader who presided over meetings, and his authority is held in high esteem. To further strengthen this unique system of leadership, age group evolved in Anegbete. In Anegbete, age group is categorized into two, that is